Yo, another day in the lab, baby. So it's always a good day.
Oh,
it's always a good day when we in the lab. You want policing to be better in your communities? The best policing that you can that can happen in any community are people that's actually from the community and that.
Once again, Rick, host BNY podcast, now known as What Effing Week with BNY Dev. How you feeling, man?
I'm in here.
What's good, comment section?
Here.
Do we drag our people down when sometimes they don't deserve it? For sure, absolutely. In this situation, this man deserves every single dragging that we can do because this is not an example of us.
But you got the angles. You got the knowledge of the game, bro.
This is where you're getting at, the IQ.
Down. Like he's telling you what's going on. He was a bad husband. He was just doing things his way. He's apologizing to his wife like, yo.
Pat ourselves on the back for that one because we didn't give yourself awards. I mean, who is?
Yeah, no boy.
Hey. Go and let that Bonaparte play. Bonaparte. Good friend of the show. Let's go and bring us in. And let's try that again. There we go. We're live. Dottery, Butler-Washington. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Absolutely. We got another individual in the house too as well.
All right, how you doing?
What's going on? The other half, the better half, lesser half. I don't know.
Hey now.
I ain't gonna call. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Round of applause for Dottery. Thank you. Welcome. Dev's not here. He's got a couple work issues to take care of, so he'll be back next week. I've already talked to him. He's good to go. I know we missed Dev, but he'll be back. I promise. And then fire him. Nothing crazy. No speculate. So you here first. Wish I could have been there, bro. Hey. Same here, baby. Same here. So let's start from the top. Dottery, how's your day going?
Hey, it's going great. Productive day. Finished some good work today at my job and just been relaxing, getting ready for BYN.
Oh, BNY.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you good. Just for brand purposes. Had to get that. Good. I'm glad you're excited. We've been talking about this for a while too, as well.
Yes, we have.
I'm gonna get to the story behind that too, as well, before we do anything. As for me, once again, Rick, back with you, set man, host, moderator, BNY Network. Day's been good. I got that giant dump truck outside my house, so. I've been working, got off, came home, been just dumping trash ever since. Had take a quick shower, got out, set up out here. Next thing you know, my son's knocking, saying you at the door. So it's been nonstop for me too as well. So trust me, I get it. How's the family?
Oh, the family's good. My boys are good. I got two boys.
Okay.
One's in the Navy and one stays down there in and with the Navy and working down there. So I got 4 grandkids, and life is good. It is good.
That's good. Hey, I can always respect good service. As you know, I'm a veteran myself too as well. So absolutely, thank you for your service as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Before we get into it, I'm proud to announce that BNY, we have a sponsor. My man Miles Davis, owner, founder of Be Empower Clothing, which I am wearing here too as well. You've seen the pictures on the BNY Network. I even have a link here too as well. I wanted to drop that again. Give me a second. I want to drop that link in here again. I know I dropped it up top, but I'm going to put it in here one more time. There it is. bclothing.shop. If you go to that shop right now, the clothes I'm wearing, you get 10% off by using the code BNY Network. Miles also, he's from La Plata, 14 years old. Chess club, robotics, very smart kid, National Society, honor roll, all the above too as well. Met him and his mother the other day. After I put out a post, I was looking for a sponsorship as far as clothing goes, and they responded. We've been talking ever since, so for the past couple of days. So they've been great. I got the gear. It's only right that we put them on too as well. Clothes looking dope. Thank you. Hey, it looks great. Shop too as well. 10% off. Use the code BNY Network. That's my man Miles right there. I'll keep plugging throughout the show.
Thank you, Miles, for sponsoring it.
Absolutely, love it. So let's get into it. Dottery, give me some background. Let's start at the top.
Okay.
Absolutely. Who are you and why are you running?
I am originally from Georgia, went to the military, met my wonderful husband there.
Hey.
We landed here in Maryland. It was his retirement home, so we've been here ever since. I did a run in 2018, as many people know, simply because of the same reasons that everybody else had one. That was the schools were not... as I seen the schools when I travel around the world. We didn't have the same things in the schools. So I wanted to run because at that time there was no pre-K. So I am from the South. You turn 4, you're in school. I knew no better. So when I got here, there was not one, and there was not a plan to get one. So I said to myself, well, you know, I know how to network, get the information, bring it back here. Why not get on the school board and make a difference for all the kids to be able to learn? Because at an early age is the best time to learn. 5 years old, we have already known, research had told us that the brain starts ticking at 3 and 2. So 4, we need to be in school. So we want to have a striving public school, got to have a striving education system to go along with it.
Now, I know you've ran before. You ran back in 2018. We'll get to that. Do you have an educator's background or anything of the sort that gives you maybe a step ahead of your competition as far as District 3?
No, I don't have an educational background, but my background is in IT, so I teach IT. I also have a youth group with my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta sorority, the best sorority there is. So I am the youth advisory for that group, and we have some amazing young ladies that we mentor. We do financial literacy, we do educational piece, we make sure that they have a plan when they leave school. We have cooperation and partnership with their parents, so their parents let us feed into them. They allow us to help to groom their child, which is great. So we just had one, Samaya, she graduated this year, and we're so proud of her. She's going on to Townsend. So I am just elated that, you know, we got her to that step. We had her at a young age. We brought her in, and she's on the path. And we got another rising senior coming up in our youth group. So we're going to be doing the same thing for her.
Okay. So it's pretty much, you love working with the kids.
Yes, I do.
Absolutely. And obviously you're needs to say you're a high energy person. So when working with children, it's always a good thing to have too as well. So let's go to some of these comments real quick. Let's see what we got. What part of the South are you from again?
I'm from Georgia.
Georgia, there you go. That Southern accent. Someone's talking about it right there. And they asked what sorority were you part of too as well?
As Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
There you go. Where'd you graduate from?
I graduated from St. Leo University, undergrad, and then from University of Phoenix for my master's.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get this out the way.
Okay.
All right, let's get this out the way before we go further with anything. I hop into people's campaigns from time to time. I see things, I praise, I criticize. I did openly criticize you. I did on Facebook. You had an event where it was a meet and greet. It was your birthday, and it was also $50 too as well to get in. I said, my own words, $50 for a meet and greet. It's kind of crazy. And you said you had a response for that, so I'll let you speak to it.
Yes. Once I got a win of that was issue, I immediately went and corrected my slide, my flyer, and I said donations are welcome. And the reason we put a donation on there, I'm going to be fair about the whole why we put it on there. It's because campaign stuff, they cost.
Right.
The flyers cost. The postcards cost. The big posters that we put up, they cost. But at the same token, I understand why when people need to come to hear your plan, because you're going to be running and they're going to be electing you, there should not be any pressure of donated money, because it's already intentionally stated that you can come to an event and you don't have to pay. It might be called a fundraiser. You don't have to pay. I have been to plenty of fundraisers. I have not paid any money. I want to come to hear the information to see if I do want to support that person. To me, having the money donated means that you fully support that person. So when you first go hear someone, if you don't have an input insight of who they are and you just want to learn a little bit about them, you shouldn't be under any pressure. So I made that available. So we had a big turnout. We had a great time, and I take that. I take it.
Fair enough. And the thing is that this goes to anybody. If I call somebody out on Facebook, it's not so much, like I'm angry or mad about it. Well, maybe sometimes, but for that one, it was more so curious, like a meet and greet for a candidate. I'd have thought I'd pay $50 just to come shake your hand, which sounded kind of crazy, but that makes sense as far as you changed the donations only, and then from there, you sound like the event was successful.
Yeah, it was successful. Yes, it was.
I'll tell you, it was successful. I don't know who had, between you and maybe a few other candidates, but I think you have the biggest signs all up and down Charles County I've seen. I think yours was like one of the first ones I saw up.
Yes.
So we started running this whole local cycle. I half from the get go, I wanted to talk to you, but you reached out to me first. I'm gonna tell that story too as well. It was I had just got home for practice. I coached too as well. Okay. So I think it was like 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. And a number popped up. It said sports. So I was like, oh, it must be one of the parents I may have just met. So I picked it up. Next thing I hear, this is Dottery, Butler-Washington, and I'm running for District 3 school board. I'm like, okay. And then you went on, talked for a little bit, and I thought it was great, because one thing, like I said, when you're working with the kids, like that energy level, shows that you do have that around the clock. At least that's what it came from me. Because you probably got off that phone and probably called somebody else up, still canvassing, and still probably working the trail. So I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool personally.
Right.
So. But once again, thanks for coming here.
You're welcome.
Let's making this happen. God, I got off the phone. I was like, yeah, we're gonna lock that one in. So, but I appreciate your flexibility too as well, because originally we were supposed to do this yesterday, but got knocked out today. Absolutely. Yes. All right, enough of me. That's enough of me talking. Let's talk about your platform. Okay. So I was looking on your website, and we're gonna go straight into it. Okay. One of the things you mentioned is bullying. What's your thoughts and ideas on how we can combat that?
Okay, bullying. I thought that for bullying, it's a really, really sensitive, and we're going to have both parents, the school involved, and actually community involved. So what my proposal is for bullying is we must do peer-to-peer. We must teach it at a young age. Young age, because when you teach it at a young age and kids understand why they are bullying, why you shouldn't bully, it will go a long way, because when we grew up, it was the same way. We was taught at an early age. And the bullying that they do now, the bullying we did, we got away with it because it wasn't a bully. It was like, we were teasing you. But now teasing has become where people are actually taking their lives. And so it's much serious now. So we have to rethink our mind as parents and say, what we did in the past, we can't do anymore. So we have to focus on it and making sure that we teach our kids at a very early age, and then it translates into school the same way. And then we also must engage the students, because when you see a student bullying, what everybody do, they surround them, laughing. It gives the bullier energy, right?
Right.
So we need to teach them tactics where that's not fair. You shouldn't do that. At the same time, another student go get the administrator so to let them properly handle it. But it's enough to let them stay off of that person, and you get the support from the person that's being bullied. Because if a person that's being bullied, if they see everybody is surrounded and helping them, they have empowered to tell their parents and say, I'm having this issue at school. Because we know a lot of bullying, we don't tell the parents at all. It just get escalated, and then something bad happens.
What kind of tactics would you use? What things would you employ?
Is making sure that we teach our students how to come in to intervene. That's peer and peer. That means that the students will be able to help the person that's being bullied, because you're all sitting around, and what we're teaching them, the tactics is you don't supposed to do that. That's not fair. Leave that person alone. The crowd is getting involved. So if the crowd is telling the bully down, what happened to the bully? They usually shut down and they move away from the scene. So we have to teach our kids that sitting there watching this to also step in, but not physically step in, just step in and say words like, you shouldn't do that. Leave him alone. Things of that nature, because when you do a bully like that, they move. They don't do anything because the energy has been sucked out of them. They give them life when we say, oh, we laughing, oh, he should do that. That's what gives them life. We need to de-escalate that is mainly what we need to do. And we need to teach our kids to do that also.
So the approach, I don't want to sum it up, but just make sure I make sense for myself, is that you want to teach all the kids that, pretty much to stand up for others.
Right.
When someone's being bullied, instead of going along with the laugh, they're standing up for them too as well.
Exactly.
Okay. Would that be like through a class, or is that going to be after school program, or what's your plan to enact that?
The plan is to teach it in school. It should be it's a part of the curriculum. So we want add that piece into the curriculum because it could be a role play. So when you in class, both students get up and they do role plays and they swap. So that teaching them, and then the students that sitting down, they can be able to do it. So if you're doing role play, everybody learning how to do it. And so it becomes a nature because we're teaching it in the school, in the curriculum, and it becomes a part of the solution rather than the problem.
Would you teach this daily?
Yeah, you have to keep it daily. Just like when you go to work, when things happen, what do they do? Because we're grown, we know better. They teach it annually now. But when they're kids, we need to teach it daily.
You know, that's actually kind of interesting because a lot of things in school we react to it. Like this happened, now we have to set this up. I mean, even like. I'm in the military, or when I was in the military, something will pop off, then it's like, all right, everybody get the training for this.
Right.
Instead of, just constantly getting it. Some things, in the military, they gotten better with as far as their training. But you're talking about constantly, daily, reinforcing, these negative behaviors. Not reinforcing negative behaviors, but reinforcing that it shouldn't be learned and how to unlearn stuff if they already have been learned. So that's interesting. A daily approach to teaching to avoid bullying.
Yes.
And you went that a part of the Charles County curriculum.
Right.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be anything added. Only thing to teach, because the teachers already know how to do it. So what happens is you're just putting it in front of the students so they'll be able to actually do it. So it's not a we have to add more money or we have to do all. It's already a learned skill from the teachers. So we're just asking to display it every day. So the kids are have it once a day. They're being reinforced. They'll know what they're supposed to do.
Okay. You know what? And obviously bullying, it leads to so many things. Suicides.
Yes.
I mean, we see what happened down in Texas recently with a kid that was bullied. That's just one of many instances.
Right.
So fights break out.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things that it comes down to. Let's take a look at some of these comments too as well. Let's move up to the front. Ali Rock. Ali, what's going on? Ali. I'm a Dottery fan. She's open-minded. I believe she'd be someone who would take a phone call from a concerned community member. Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. You've taken my phone calls. You haven't won yet, though. So let's see what happens after November. No, I'm just. All right. What is all right? So I think you might have kind of answered this a little bit, but let's get more direct with it. Amanda, how you doing? What is your stance on peer mediation? Mediation. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a great one. Okay, right now when student has an issue, what they happen now is they go to the form. They fill out this form online. The school got 48 hours to get back to them, and at the end, you don't know what happens to it. So what my approach is, once they put that form in, we bring both parent and student to the table. You bring them to the table. You let student who is doing the who's getting bullied speak. You let the bullier speak.
Right.
Then you let the parents solve the problem, because therefore the parent had heard it from their student or what is going on, so they can be able to be corrective actions and put a plan together. So therefore, when they put the plan together, they abide by it, and when both people walk away from the table, they know exactly what's going to happen. I think that will relieve a lot of stress from parents thinking the school do not have their student best interest at heart when it comes to safety, because I know how I would feel if my child was bullied.
You want to take a real hands-on approach, like that sounds like a great idea. The logistics of this, as far as every single student, because I know that form. As a parent, I've had to fill out that form, and I've got nothing except for a bunch of runaround.
Right.
That we can't really do this because as we have to see more of it.
Right.
Essentially.
Right.
Or do we have to just let it happen? We don't want to really intervene. It is what it is, which Charles County's told me. This was a couple years ago, though.
Right.
But now you're saying that if it happens once on the complaint form, just one time, you want to bring both the families together and figure it out from
No,
there?
it's the nature of the complaint, the nature.
Okay.
So if it's something where, is this child have documented repeatedly things that happen, we're going to bring the parents to the table. If this is a one incident, what happened is you still talk to both parents and come back with a solution to the parent. That's the only thing the parent is looking for, a solution. You heard me. You heard what I said. You heard my child. So therefore, you said it's not gonna happen again. I believe you because you came back and told me. Now that's the piece where if it keeps repeating, the child keep coming back. No, mommy, they doing this, it's doing this, and you're documenting this, and you bring it back to the school again. That's when we need an intervention. We don't have to wait till 1, 2, 3. 3 might be too late. We need to bring it to the table, because if I'm gonna give you a clean example, if you're at work, if someone is harassing me or doing anything to me, I go to HR. I tell them, they do their investigation just like the form that signs out. They bring the people to the table. It usually solve it, because the bully is the person harassing me or whatever is on notice. I understand the process. Everybody understand. It never happens again. Same process. These are little kids. These are students. They will understand the same thing. And the parents is looking at that the same way. Because if this is what happened at work, this should happen at school. If someone is bullying my child, you can't say that because my child is in care at school, I have no right. My hands is off. It's just not feasible for a mother to think that they can't protect their child, whether they in school or at home. So we have to come up with a policy, because that's what the school board is for. We create policies. So there is nothing that said we can't create a policy for this. But again, I'm one voice, so I can't. I'm telling you what I would do if I was there, but I need the other 9 to join on with me to do it.
Right. And I'm seeing some of these comments too, so we're gonna get back to them. But I like the idea of getting the parents more involved in the school. I think that's one of the big failures of schools, is that, like, a lot of times, the only time you hear from the teacher if your kid's acting a fool,
Right.
or maybe report card time, there's the comments. But you constantly want to get anything, nature of the incident, you want to get the parent involved. I think that's pretty fantastic. I, as a parent, I like to be more involved too, as well. I like to have more of that line of communication with the teacher too, as well. I mean, they're with my kids 7, 8 hours a day. Right. Why wouldn't I want to know? Let's get to some of these comments. Let's see. Miss Sims, how you doing today? How you doing? We must address bullying with safe spaces. Stop the bullying. They're bullying for a reason. Antonia, I like this comprehensive approach. Allie, bullying has evolved in this generation. You got cyberbullying, sexting, revenge porn are the new things kids have to deal with. That's true too as well.
Yes.
It's some of that stuff is outside the school.
Right.
That you can't, cyberbullying is one of those things that you got a lot of work cut out for you if you win.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But it's not just you. It's me too as well, because I'm also part of this community.
Right.
You too, sir, as well. Absolutely. Let's keep it moving. Ms. Sims, de-escalation mentions that. Allie, I agree with empowering peers to stand up for their friends. This does take the wind out of a bully. Absolutely. Yep. Ms. Sims, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? Let's see. Antonia, I love your approach. Seems like you've contemplated many ways to address the issue both at school and at home through teacher engagement. How will you establish and implement this program to address bullying? So essentially, like the ideas, how do you plan on getting this to actually be enacted in the day-to-day?
Well, that's where I said the school comes in to create a policy. So, like I said, when I come to the school board, if I am so lucky to win, I will come with day one with a plan. So they can add and subtract for it, but we would not have a plan to attack what was going on now. So on that plan, it will be that we create a policy where we include engagement from parents on there. So that is one of the things that I want to create a policy on. I'm not going to say details of how we do it, because it's collectively all of us coming up with this ideal of how it should be approached. But that's my plan, is to create a policy around it, because it will not be instituted if it's not a policy. You can't just tell teachers what to do without a policy. So it has to be a policy put in place for that.
How does that work with the board? I'm not very familiar with that. How many votes are needed to enact this?
So if it's going to be 9 people on the board, so you need 5 votes.
5 votes.
Pass.
Okay.
And if you get anything under that, it doesn't pass.
Okay, 5. Just straight 5.
Straight
no matter
5.
what. Okay. All right. I never knew that. I was curious. All right. Cool. All right. So, bullying. If anyone has any more questions, bullying, please throw it in the chat as we go. Teachers pay.
Teachers, that is a must. We must pay teachers what they're worth. Let's say this. These are the educators that teaching your child for the future, to be the best they're going to be, to grow them, to make sure that they can compete on the world stage. Why wouldn't they are growing doctors, they're growing lawyers, they're growing tech, they're growing business owners. Why not pay them what they're worth? Because I am 100% thinking if we pay our teacher accordingly to what they're supposed to be paid, they will be able to be able to take your child even farther without it all, because they're left behind. They're growing students, they're growing all of these educators and tech and doctors and lawyers to be there, and when they get to the top, they say, oh, Miss Sally was the best thing that happened, that's why I'm there. If the doctor is giving Miss Sally praise and prop, why are we not paying her so she can continue on to pour into the future children? So it must be, it has to be. The pay must raise. Because think about it, our counterparts over here at Prince George County, why are they getting $10,000 more than our Charles County teachers? That's unheard of. Why you think that the teachers that live here and play here, but they work in Prince George County? Money. I don't blame them, because they got to pay bills. They got to put their children through college. They got to pay medical bills. So I understand the situation, but the bottom line is Charles County got to do better when it comes to the pay, because we want to retain our teachers here to teach our students. And that will cut down on our shortage as well, because we got a shortage of teachers. So if we got teachers going to Prince George County, how about if we give them the raise, they come back to Charles County and we can close that gap? Is
that easy, just to do that? Just to give the raise? I know there's a budget and everything.
Okay, the school board set the budget. So if we set the budget and we set their pay raise already in the budget, when the budget passed, they raise already are in there and they get it. What they typically do is do the budget on operation, and then they go back and fight for the teacher raise. If in business, if I have a business, everybody fighting for money, right? You told me you needed $50,000, and then another organization told me they need 60, and we could only give them both 50 and 60, but I got an extra 10,000 on there, and they said, well, actually we need 70. I'm gonna give that 10 to them to make up the 70. You can't come back to me later and say, by the way, I want to give the raises. I didn't add into the budget, but I want to do that. You mess up the obligation of the money. Ask for what you're supposed to ask for up front. Therefore, you get it. So that's my approach. Put their raises in the budget, period.
And Allie, she has a point. I was going to mention this too as well. Obviously, commissioners have to fund it, approve it, all that. So, but you want to
include it in the budget. So when we fight for it, it's there.
What's a good number? Let's say teachers starting out right now, 47,000, 50,000. What would be a good number you think they should start out at?
At 60. It's 60,000. Begin at 60.
You said the 10,000 more.
Right. If they at 50, if we do it at 10, because right now Prince George County get $10,000 more than what the teachers here and charge. So if they getting 50, that means they just starting off teacher, they get 10. That's why we cannot approach and get teachers when we get ready to recruit teachers. They don't look at Charles County because they know they can get more from Baltimore and Prince George County and Virginia. It's hard to recruit them because of the pay. And that's something that we got to work on. If that's retention and recruitment, you must build that into the recruitment. You got to build it in there, or you're not going to get the qualified teacher that we know we need to have here in Charles County.
So Allie raises a point too as well. I know that I know it's going up. It's by law that it has to. And she says by 2026. Now for Charles County, was that just for Charles County, Allie, or is that also for surrounding counties where it's all going up? But either way, you still want the pay scale to match other counties.
Right. We have to be able to compete with the other counties. Because if it goes if it goes up to where it is and theirs go up higher, we're still in the same boat. Because they're going to get the more than what they was getting from the 20%. Their 20% is only going to be here. So we had to still at the same point where our teachers here in Charles County are going to still continue to flood to go to Prince George County, D.C., and to Virginia. They're going to continue. So the paying scale should be for all teachers or wherever you at, minus the COLA of where you at.
Man, it says D.C. charter schools are getting a lot of good teachers from Charles County as well.
Yes, they are.
Let's read some of these comments too as well. I think I missed one up here. Are you familiar with the Upward Bound program?
No, I am not, but I can learn about that one. I'm going to remember that one.
Facebook user. Who is that? Is that AJ? Is that still you right there? Just curious. Let's see. Charles County and Maryland teachers among some of the highest paid in the country. Second in California public schools. Comprehensive health care and a pension plan. But you still want to do better just based off.
It's the pay. You great health and everything, that's fine, but still they need the pay, because just like I say, in Prince George County, they get that same thing. They get the pay and they get the good health care and all of that. The same thing.
Here's a good question. Antonia, I'm not sure about the budget cycle, but I've heard that the budget has little room for additional expenditures, including a competitive salary for the county's teachers. Can you tell us how the board will go about finding the money to increase pay? Now, I know you said you asked for it. Yeah, other than getting accepted to as well. Right.
So we would make a case for it, because when you're talking to the commissioners about pay, you got teachers on the commission. They know exactly what I'm talking about. So therefore, I will have an insight on them understanding that pay and giving teachers pay is very important.
Is that argument not made before? Has that not been made? Has that not been brought up?
A teacher, yes, it's been brought up many a times.
What do you think the issue is then?
The issue is they do not put it in the budget. When you do not put it in the budget get passed.
Right.
And the commission's gonna tout this that they always fund the education bill 100%. We have been doing it for these many years, but they have not included the teacher raises inside of the budgets.
Why do you think that is?
If the school doesn't put it in, we have to come up with the bill. Right. So the budget office from the school come up with the budget. Then the school board reviews the budget, make sure what's supposed to be in there, and if we do not go back and say, wait, where's the budget line for the teacher's raise? It's not going to get in there. You have to say it. It has to be a budget line for that teacher pay. That is the most important thing. If there's no budget line, it's invisible. We know that on the job. It's invisible.
Yeah, I just wonder why that hasn't been the case, though. I'm just here, not saying that you are. I'm just curious as a whole that why hasn't teacher, raising the pay been like a staple here?
Well, I have my ideas that I just think that they do not want the competitive where teachers from all over will come here to Charles County.
You think they don't want that?
No, because it's not the it's just the pay, because they keep the pay low so they can control who comes here. They're keeping the pay. If you keep the pay low, you know who's going to come here. Because if you continue to hire from Ohio and Pennsylvania and not from all of these qualified schools that we have in Maryland, that's an issue. Why would I go hire all the way out here when I'm right here and I can just go there to hire? One reason, you're not paying me. So we know the students coming from those schools are not going to look at Charles County because the money is not there. So I'm going to go to the Prince George County, the Baltimore, the DC, and the Virginia, because they have understood and they have figured out that they have to pay the teachers to get the best qualified teachers in their schools. And we need to think that. And I think Dr. Navarro has begun to think that. She begun to know that. She has done a great job. She has verbalized that. She has stated that. So therefore, I'm thinking we're heading that way, because she has pretty much stated that is exactly what they need.
What do you think of Dr. Navarro since she's been here, the job she's done?
She's done a fantastic job to me. She has gotten we never had a strategic plan ever. That's telling us the future of our students, the education about. To have it's just like a business. You gotta have a plan of how you're going to close the learning gap. Big here. There's no room for that. That is a must be closed. have rooms where you're going to hire and retain the teachers and close that gap. She has to have a plan for that, and she's doing that plan. So right now, Dr. Navarro, to me, she get kudos because she's doing the job. She's doing what she's supposed to do.
It's interesting. Talk to the bus drivers is something totally different.
I want to say one thing about the bus driver. I believe in what they're doing, and they're unionized. But I want to make something very clear here. Okay, when you have a contract with the school, the school has a contract with the owner of the bus driver, not with the union, not with the employees, anything. If there is an issue with the employees, they must take it to the owner. The owner take it to the school. And then that's when Dr. Navarro can talk to the owner and they come up with an agreement. But you can't talk to the employees. That's against the law. That's against FAR. That's against a small business. You cannot tell an owner what to do with his employees. You just can't do it. And I just want to make sure that people understand that. But I do believe they're supposed to have a raise. I do believe in all of that. But I think that they going about it as not coming to the school. They must go to the owner of the bus driver and sit down and have that honest talk with them. Let them know, this is what we're worth. So how can you ensure that we get paid this? So that's between the vendor, which is the contractor owner, and the employees. It's not on the school. And I don't want it to become a big issue where the school board must do this. We have no jurisdiction, period, over any contract. That is a Dr. Navarro job. We pay her to do the daily stuff. That is her job. But she only can talk to the vendor who has a problem. They the one coming to tell her, I have a problem. I need more money. That has not happened. The bus drivers are saying it, but that piece has not happened. So we need to, really think about, the approach. I don't want to get on and you was for it and do the school board, you must do it. No. School board has nothing.
You know that pop up.
I know. That's why I'm trying to explain it right now. I believe in what they're doing, but the approach must be with the owner and the employees, which is the bus drivers. They must air that out. And then when they come up with a solution, then they approach Dr. Navarro and the school about how they want to, if it is raise the prices, to pay for them, however they're going to do it. Then it becomes something on the table. But right now, going straight to the school, there's nothing the school can do.
Man.
I'm a core. That's why I know. I have contractors under me. I can't tell them nothing what to do with their employees. Nothing.
Have you had a chance to talk to them, the bus drivers?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of them, and they told me, and I definitely understand what they're saying. But I told them, you have to take this up with the owner of the buses. They the one who control your pay. They the one who got a contract with the school and said, the money you gave me, I'm able to perform these duties. So they have to go back and say, I was wrong. I need this. And they work it out amongst the school and the vendor, which is the owner of the bus drivers.
Well, I know it's ongoing, so we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
But obviously, and you kind of set that out there as far as, their contract and all that too as well. But obviously, as a board member, people look at you and ask questions. Obviously, they've had a meeting with Dr. Navarro, so and you can watch the whole podcast for that one where they talk about that one. Let's get to some of these comments. So, Allie, just to be clear too as well, that teachers they are getting raises every year. They get somewhat of a step raise. COLAs and step increases every year. It's been a few years since we had to freeze the budget. Just reading the comment here too as well. So there's money going up. I mean, obviously, the more you work, salary just gets a step increase. But you're talking, I think more so you're talking about like a large increase from the bottom starting. Right.
When they come into it, because it's a big difference from when you go into the school system from Prince George County to when you go from Charles County.
Yeah. So
why is the pay the same? So it won't be any difference.
So instead of here coming in at 47, just bump that up to, I'm not going to throw a number on it, but you mentioned 10,000.
Right.
So more than that, then y'all could do the math and go from there. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's keep moving from there. Leftwich, what's going on with you? All right.
That's our buddy.
This man says, "Hey, Blue Eyes." Hey, Leftwich, you know who's in the room, right? Oh man. All right. Zebby, what's going on with you? How you doing today? Derek Terry, cutting grass, man. Your grass always. Yeah. We have got a lot of rain, so all right.
I get Derek a shout out. I want to get Derek a shout out. I did his podcast too. It was really good. So
yeah,
he you know, Derek, he hit the questions. You got to have that data. So
shout
had to be ready for him.
Shout out to my guy DT. Zebby, do you have a plan in place to get your board colleagues sold on your initiatives? How will you sell your idea to get at least 4 of the votes?
You have to do your research. That's why I said being a school board member does not mean showing up once a month and we hear all these things and that's it. If you're trying to sell an idea or get a policy change, you must come with the research. Mm-hmm. So I have to come with research to share with them, so they are able to think the same way and think if it's positive, if it's good. I have to give them that initial information that they need. I'm not looking for them to say, I want to pass a bill and a policy and that's it. No, behind that is research that you must sell it. Because like I said, networking, selling, you're the salesman. If you want something done, it's up to you to get it done. And you bring your colleagues along. Mm-hmm. So having the research, showing them the data, that piece alone will sell, it will get your point across, because you have to come with a whole plan, not a half plan, when you're trying to get something going. And so, you network with most of, schools who have done it, other networks who have done it. You come with all of that information so they are able to digest it and say, this might work here. We have to tailor it to Charles County, mm-hmm. but this just might work here in Charles County.
Mm-hmm. Made to pick up an extra round at the bar. Things that sort of get the business done behind the scenes. Hey, hey, that's me. So that's more so what I do over here. So no, but I think to get people sold on ideas, you bring up. You got to show them the homework.
Yes.
It's first thing you got to do. Mm-hmm. That hey, this makes sense. It worked here. Mm-hmm. We could fit this over here with what we have. So
right,
it's interesting. I know it's kind of like a. That's kind of like a one size fits all question too as well. What Zebby was asking here. We mentioned your plan as far as you said that this raise as far as the number with the 10,000 with the teachers pay.
Right.
Each like comparing that to like counties.
Right.
So it depends. It depends exactly what your colleagues how your colleagues feel.
Yes.
So that's why this election cycle was
very important.
Extremely important, because it's not just voting Dottery, Butler-Washington and who's going to work together well.
Exactly.
Especially as a school board.
Right, and that's the thing when you want to ask people, if you liking what I'm saying here, I ask you to make sure you send me some colleagues that can work with me.
Uh-oh.
Because if you send me colleagues that can work with me, it will be wonders on that school board. I'm just throwing it out there because I have one vote. That's it. You know what I want to do, but I need some people to come along with me to make sure that they do the same thing that you want to do. So, that's not a plug. It's just the truth. You don't vote for one, you vote for a group. And I want people to start thinking in that magnitude.
Are you looking to endorse anybody or anybody you support too as well that's running in different districts? Is this something you wouldn't even get into?
No, because right now I'm running Dottery race, and I need Dottery to be for District 3 to be on that school board.
Okay, all right. Just curious. Just curious. Let's talk about student mental health. That's one of your pillars on your website too as well.
Yes.
What we got?
Okay, mental health. We have to make sure that we go after those big grants. We have mental health in the blueprint plan. Yes, they have a lot of it in there, but we need to make sure that we have more mental health in there, because not just for the students, we got to have it for the teachers also, administration also, because they're there dealing with the same things the children are the students are dealing with. So we got to have this versus, because right now we always say, oh, let's go out and hire all these psychologists. First of all, where are you going to find all these psychologists from? Because everybody's struggling right now. My plan is I would like to network, partner with the health departments, the health people that's already out there, the organization that's already out there. Mm-hmm. what you're doing is, if you network with them, they already have the people there, they have the skill there, and they have the capability and the capacity to deal with it. Right now on the website, they only dealing with one mental health organization. I beg the partner. I say we should do more, because what that does is those organizations are paid for by the schools. The parents do not have to pay. So if the school identifies that something is wrong or need help, they place your child with these organizations, and they pay for it, and they get the child the help that they need. We need to not do that just for one. We need to do it for whatever child it is, because when you fix the whole child, there go progress for all of us. We can't just pick and choose. We got to make sure that we deal with the mental health where it is, because it's not a taboo anymore. Just forget that. This is real business. We want kids to stress, because kids will tell you now, I need a mental day. I'm telling you, I heard that about 2 years ago. I almost lost it. One of the little youth girls said, my mother won't let me take a mental health day. I said, what is a mental health day? I just need to be at home, don't worry about nothing, just to collect myself. It was stunning that they said, in our day, we would never say that. We would never say we need a mental health day, ever. But the kids have come to adapt. They're okay with it. So if they're okay with it, we better get up to speed and be really okay with it, and to get them the help that they need for the schools, within the school system.
All right, so walk me through your plans. Kid needs help. The next step is to call who again?
If a child needs help, you're going through the school. The school will be able to evaluate that through their organization they have.
Right.
Then when they identify what the health is, they bring the parent in, they say the whole plan. Then they place the child, whatever organization, mental health organization there is, to get that child the help. That's the plan. It's a 1, 2, 3 plan. There is no big evaluation that you need. We already know that the child needed. Struggling in school, she's struggling, and the mother and the parents will say she's struggling at home. Therefore, we give her or him this solution, the help that they need, by placing them with us, so to get them to a better place. Because once you start managing the issues at an early age, the child can manage it throughout life. It's when we wait too late and don't manage it when we have all these issues at.
Right.
We got to attack it where it is, and not wait and just let it continue. Everybody knows the person have a problem, but they ain't that bad. And then all of a sudden that day they become that person. We don't want that. We want to address the issue, the whole child, at that time, and meet them where they at.
And you mentioned no cost to who?
No cost to the parents. This is on the school, because they have money for that.
And how much? And as far as these programs you're talking about, how much you think it will run?
I have that's in the budget. I haven't looked that far in the budget, but I know it's money in there in the budget for it.
How much you think?
For each child, it's probably about $10,000 for each child.
$10,000. That's per issue, or just per child?
No, it's what the school is saying. You're gonna help them for this problem, and they tell them the problem. They give them the whole plan of how to solve the problem for the child. So, how
many kids are in Charles County Public Schools?
You got 26,875 children now.
So all 26,000. Let's say times 10,000. That's quick math. Let's just call it, I don't know, let's just say $500,000. I think that's what it looks like.
But we got to be realistic. Every child's not going to need this help.
No, but that's just like me. That's way, way up there. Okay.
Yeah, every child's not going to need.
I'm curious of a number.
We're talking about the children that definitely need this help. And so we do have and then parents do have on their insurance. If something is wrong, they can also go and seek that help, because it's paid for under their insurance. So a lot of parents don't know that child psychology is in their insurance. They place it in there. So, but like I say, it's taboo.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, if they have insurance too as well.
Well, if they don't, they got the Obama's insurance where it covers it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for that. I'm not. Sure.
Well,
I'm take your word for that one.
You got to, because I know.
I'm on the fly right now doing the interview.
I helped someone get it, so I know.
I'm I'm on a fly doing interview. Somebody check me. Let me get some of these comments too as well. Derek, I see you said some of these questions outside responsibility. I'm just asking, just out of curiosity, just having a conversation. Pascal's right, Dottery staying in her lane, doing what she does. So, let's see. Going down. Amanda, is there a way to improve parental involvement from a board level? Each school having different policies, procedures can be frustrating.
That's one of the things that I was going to have on the table for the new board that's coming on to ask. Is there a way that we can research it, we can go out and get data on it, how we can have parental guidance in the school system, meaning that the child, the parent is totally engaged in the classroom. And from a policy standpoint, a lot of people say we can do it from the policy, but I beg to differ, because what I think is, if you ask and if you engage a parent, the parent will come to the school. They will do this because, say this is one incident. When they have the first day of school, when the parents and the teachers are all coming in, the child is changing classrooms and meeting their new teachers and things. Why can't 30 minutes in the class, the teacher would be able to know the parent, ask the parent, is there any issues that you can share with me that could help me? Come and do a contract where, if I do this, the teacher, I'm doing this, you do this at home, and the bottom line is we want your child to succeed. That's an engagement, that's a contract between the parent and the teacher. And we both abide by that. So every year our child will succeed. I don't think it's an issue where the parent just don't want to be involved. I think because there is involvement, but there is no engagement. Engagement means that I'm held accountable along with the teacher to make sure that my child is successful. Involvement is coming to the basketball game, coming to when they graduate, come to art featuring thing, a program in school. That's involvement, which is still good. Now, that's excellent for the student. But engagement is parent and student and the teacher is putting in the work. They putting in the work to make sure that that child stays successful. So if you have that kind of commitment, starting off from the beginning of the school to the end, it will be successful. And not just in elementary, all the way through high school. That same commitment. The teachers could say that same form. It's a 4 or 5 form thing they do. They fill it out. The teacher has the option to call, do online and say, we're going to do a Zoom to talk about your plan, to make sure it's done. And if some parents say, hey, I'm on board, whatever you need, I got, she won't have to worry about that student, but the student that she really needs to worry about, that's where she hone in her skills in. And that's when she helped that parent along to make sure they're engaged, to make sure they're doing their part at school. Because I truly believe a parent wants their child to succeed. Every parent wants their child to succeed. They just don't know how to do it. So if we engage them enough at an early age, it will be what it's supposed to be.
I think that works in a perfect society. I've seen enough at this point. I'm not gonna dox anybody, name any names, but some parents just don't give a shit. And I'll say probably more than half, to be honest with you, just from some of the things I've seen. Like, I think teachers can do that work too as well. At the end of the day, that kids out the house, kids home, just whatever. But it's the engagement piece. When we went to school, it was engagement. It was totally. It was not. They didn't really talk about involvement. It was really engagement. That somewhere between the 80s and the 90s, they started talking about this involvement, and engagement got left behind. So they didn't really do an engagement. Engagement makes sure that both parties are responsible for the success of the child. That it's an easy talk, because if the parent want the same thing as the teacher want, why can't this happen? I truly believe a parent would do it. It's just that you have to sit down and explain to them.
you want your child to see. I know a parent. Every parent want their child to see. I don't care.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They want the teacher to do it.
But no, if you,
I don't want to do it. I'm sending you to 8 hours a day.
If you frame it to where we're both are doing it, they are gonna do their part.
Oh, you need like a culture reset at that point.
They're gonna do their part. Cause I don't want to be the reason why my child fell.
Yeah.
I don't. And no parent wants to be the reason their child fell.
Yeah, and that goes beyond even like you running for school board at that point. That just comes from parents and teachers like really working together. That's like an America thing. You know, it's
hard,
tough.
but you got to start somewhere.
Because I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I have been there, so I know it happens. When we were stationed in New York. Oh my God, it was. I'd never seen that like it in my life. Although I knew what engagement was, but when I went there, it was like when we went to school with both boys, they sat down. They was like, "Okay, Miss Washington, is there anything you need to know about, Marisa Bernard that I need to know? It's nothing that is fragile or anything. It's just that I want to make sure they succeed. You start right away. He talk a little too much. If he's not kept busy, he talks to other students so they can't do their work, stuff like that. She know what to do. They kept this call you, email you, making sure that you were engaged. It was important for me to be engaged. It was important to me that I showed up. I was there. I ensured to make sure when he made honor rolls, I pat myself on the back. I helped did that.
But Dottery, you're a good parent. You're a good mother. Pascal, I see your comments too as well. Pascal, you're an excellent mother, excellent parent. Most parents want to send their kid to school, get my kid right. Why is he coming home with D's and C's? Must be the teacher.
No, you have to retrain the mind. It is.
But that goes beyond. I'm saying that goes beyond what you're trying to do here. Even though I think what you're doing here is a start. I think that's the story you're having a conversation.
Yes.
That's a start. But at the same time, like to get mass groups of people in their 40s, late 30s, 40s, or 50s on board to retrain the mind.
You're never too old to learn. I'm going to tell you.
I agree.
Because when you frame it as,
I agree with that.
This is not for you, mom and dad. This is for their future. This is for their children's future. When you had them, it's not about you anymore. It's about them, the children.
I'm right there with you.
So
I'm 100%.
You got to explain and say that. Because we think people know that. A lot of people don't know that. You have to say that. And when you say it, you start believing it and you start doing it. You got to, because I'm just a believer. If you give the people the tools of how to have their children succeed, they will do it. They will do it. It's when they left out there on their own and don't know what to do. That's where the issue comes in.
Everything you're saying is facts. Teacher calls a parent, "Hey, DeAndre's acting up in class." DeAndre would never do that. That ain't DeAndre. It must be something else around him. It must be you, teacher. See, a lot more of that than the responsibility you're talking about. But with that being said, the conversation should start. We should start moving and changing in that direction.
Right.
And you seem like you have some ideas to do that.
Right.
Okay. Let me go to some comments. I'm not against that. I'm just curious how real that can do, because a lot of people out here just, like I said, just set it and forget it. Kids at school better come home with straight A's. I'm not putting any work with you outside of that. I got my own thing to do. I see a lot more of that, and that's not me calling anybody out, but I mean, of a hit dog hollers, it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. Let me go back up. I'm going all the way back up. Ashley, I feel like you're preaching in the house tonight, Miss Butler-Washington. You're hitting the facts tonight. We need to wake up and get on board. There you go. Darnell, our parents, Darnell, what's going on with you, man? My guy. Our parents had more work ethic, never had to wash clothes, clean the kitchen, cook. We did what kids do. This generation of parents make kids do everything, which is teaching good work ethic, but also reward the kids a mental break. We mentioned a mental break too as well. Let me keep scrolling down. Leftwich, did I miss anything about bringing after schools here? After school programs? Is that what you mean? Clear that for me, Leftwich. Keep scrolling down. Parents are too comfortable not having parent-teacher conferences. Me personally, I mean, I don't know how popular this is, but I like to see. I mean, that's you're talking a huge workload on a teacher. Teacher got 30 kids in the classroom, but why not once a week? You know, you just meet with your teacher and talk to see the progress of your kid. Like I'm saying, kids spending there 40 plus hours a day. You know, when you want to know what's going on.
Right.
Leftwich, look at the PTO meetings, empty. They don't care. Exactly what I'm talking about.
But I'm going to come into a defense on this one. Okay, look.
And it takes a community to do this job too, as well.
Look at the time that we have these PTA meetings. Come on now. I'm hoping when I come onto the board, I'm going to ask the question: should we revise the time, or to make it fit into the parent schedule?
Saturday night at 8 p.m. Open bar. Hey, come on, hey.
Yeah.
Look.
No, we have to look at how we can better make sure that these meetings are accessible for them, because it's for them. So we have to revisit. We got to revisit it. I'm not saying how or what time, whatever. We just got to revisit it. We got to revisit. Is this appropriate? Is this fair to a parent?
The board has no say in PTO meetings. We're not so much talking about the board having the same PTO meetings. I'm talking about the community and getting involved in this stuff. We're having a wide conversation here tonight. I'm just kind of curious of your mindset.
Okay.
We're talking back to Derek Terry. So, but Derek has a question here. I do want to ask this one. It's a pretty good question. Okay. So, he had said here earlier, I know the question, I got to go back and read it. As far as what's the responsibility of yourself as a board member?
Yes.
Evidently, recent board member forum, I believe, there was some confusion on what the role actually is. Okay. So for the people, educate us, and myself included too as well.
The role for the school board is to make sure we do the budget finance, we set policies, and we evaluate the instruction. We do the what and the why, and do the when it concerns the school board, and the superintendent does the who and the what, and the who and the how. That's her responsibility. And she do the when it concerns the school board. She is the day-to-day operation. We don't tell her how to do her business. We evaluate her. So we have to make sure that we don't take on or say that we can do magical things in the school that we know we cannot do. That's not our role. We policies. We set the budget. We pass the budget. We evaluate her. We evaluate the instruction. That's it. We don't go any further than that, because we have to be it's a partnership, really. So we got to make sure that the superintendent is allowed to run the school. We pay her good money to run the school. That's her job.
It's a good check.
And I just want to make one more thing clear, is when I know it came to me and I didn't understand it either, but now I understand it. When a complaint comes in and it comes into the school board, it's not up to us to solve that. It's not up to us to respond to that. It's our job to send it to the superintendent and let her solve the problem. But I'm going to add a caveat. If I am elected on the board, I'm going to ask the superintendent that the school board member who sends her that, or the whole school board, we want to be kept on the trail to ensure that the issue did get solved. Because that's accountability. That means that I'm held accountability for the person sending the email to me. And the superintendent accountable for her employees solving the problem. And we all kept in the loop. So that's accountability and transparent, period. It shouldn't be any, once I pass it, I have no insight in it. And then that's a defense when a parent say, but I sent it to you and it's easy. Oh, I don't have anything to do with that. That's her job. No, we cannot do that. Transparency and accountability, period.
I'm reading some of the comments too as well. Reading some of the comments going back up. Conversation back and forth. Not worrying about that. I'm moving to something else off your platform too as well here. Miss Battle Lockhart, how you doing? Saw you at the Juneteenth event too as well. Yes, sir. After school programs. All right, Leftwich. We'll get into that here shortly. Derek's keeping his ground. Derek is a very I love Derek in the comments section. Man's extremely knowledgeable. I'm a huge fan of him here. Absolutely. Okay. Leftwich, I see a comment too as well. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to you full circle here in a little bit. All right. Dottery's plan: close student learning gap within our schools.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Okay, because I know Derek's on there. I got to come with some data. So I'm going to open up my paper because I want to make sure I have this data ready for him. So we, in the school, we tout that, like I said, we got 27,785 kids in the school. Graduation rate, 24%. Kids, the students that go to college, 63.4.
I was saying, go back graduation rate. Say it one more
it's
time.
94%.
Okay.
And then the students who go to college is 63.4.
Okay.
But kids who don't do anything is 36.4. That's where I know we have a problem at, because we have to have a plan for that. So my plan for the loss is, like I said before, and this is where me and Derek had some going back and forth with. I propose that we have to cut our summers in half.
Okay, all right.
We cannot.
We're this part of the podcast now.
I'm gonna.
Dottery.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm not saying that it's a must. The children that are doing well, they have their summers.
Before we get into this, I want to say something for the record. Okay. I've known about this. Because we talked about this back in March about this. It's your plan. I didn't say anything. I want to let you present it. Okay. I didn't tell one person about this outside my wife. We talk about all sorts of things. Pillow talk and that sort of stuff. Y'all know how it is. Right?
Yeah. Just okay.
You want to cut summers in half, including staff and teachers.
Okay, this is my proposal. Okay. The summer schools. We must have summer school.
Right.
The gap has got to get closed somewhere. Reading and math cannot. Let me give you the numbers with the reading. 33% reading of our student is passing reading. 67 is failing. Math, 22 is passing, and 78 is failing.
Which grades are these?
These are 1 through 8. This cannot happen.
What's the reading percentage again?
The reading is 33 that is passing. And 67 that is failing. You cannot. This cannot happen. This look 1 through 8. That's the bulk of their learning. How are they going to learn the rest of it if they cannot read? They cannot do math. We have to solve that, and I'm the only way that I'm saying we have to have a robust plan, and that robust plan has to include a summer program. That means that if you don't want your child to go to there, just remember, when he come back to school in August, the problem's still gonna lie there. And let me tell you, this is optional. This is optional, but let me tell you what happened. I'm so glad I looked on Facebook from the school, and guess what the school did? They are having a free summer school starting July the 6th through August the 4th. They thought my idea was good.
I know about this. Because my wife was asked to go there for it. I know. I'm aware. I'm aware of that one too as well.
Because I said we have to do something. Parents would, if I have my report card and I saw that my standard test for my student and they was failing, I would be signing my student up. I can go to Walt Disney's and other stuff when you get your grades up. You got plenty of time to do that.
Even I came here advocating for a 0.0 GPA for kids. Just let them do after school activity. But at the same time, like stuff like that, I'm right there with you. Okay. I agree with that.
So that's what I'm saying. Because
it does come first. These are building blocks. So I get that.
It's important that we must do something. So that's why I said, now if the school did it, that means the teachers didn't mind. The parents didn't mind and the students didn't mind, because they put it in play and they're filling up. So registration already started next week, so make sure you register your child to go in there if they need it. Because if it was my child, free, that's where you're going to be for the summer.
But it's optional.
It's optional.
How many days a week?
It's, I want to get it right here.
Is that 8 to 12, I believe?
Yeah, 8 to 12.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah. So
it is 5 days a week, isn't it?
5 days a week, yes.
Yeah.
Because you got to close to the gap. You can't close the gap with just one. We got to maximize this time in the summer because what they're doing is they are doing the curriculum on math and English. Math and English. And if they get those scores up by the time the standard tests come out, they have succeeded. So, like I say, it's just not going to be one summer. It might have to be 2 or 3 summers, but it's worth it. Your child is worth it. It's their education. And
you got to think too as well. Like, there's probably not that many kids in the classroom,
right?
And you said what subjects again?
Math and English.
For your plan, it'll be
math and English.
What is it right now?
It's math and English.
Okay.
Until we get it up to where it's supposed to be, and then you can venture out to the other ones. But right now, math and English builds on all of the subjects.
Math and English, reading, math. I mean, and it
builds on everything. Mm-hmm. So once you get that packed, then you can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Let me read some of these comments too as well. Let's see what the people think. Optional, right?
Optional, people, optional. I'm not mandatory your child to go anywhere.
Elect Dottery for 11 months of school, staff included. No, that's me joking. Don't cut that up and use that, please. All right, let's see. Leftwich loves his summers. Pascal, Derek Terry's getting special treatment. Pascal Leftwich, I mention y'all by name every single podcast. Don't do that. Let's see. Allie mentions schools are closed over a year, but Pascal has a good point. I mean, we were struggling with reading levels well before that too, as well. She also said she'll give up some of her summer to make sure that our kids succeed. A little comment back and forth. Yeah, I mean that's not bad at all. That's not bad. Any idea how many kids have signed up for it so far? I know it's still a little bit early in the process.
Well, I wouldn't have any insights into that.
Just curious.
It's just the school would, but I would too. That's why. But when Dr. Navarro said that it's filling up fast, so she must have some kind of.
I wonder how many
numbers.
slots are available for it if it's filling up fast. There's only. I mean, there are probably so many teachers around that are available for it. I mean, I know a lot of teachers. Like, soon as school's out,
they gone.
Yeah, don't hit me up till August. And I don't blame them. I mean, you're dealing with the public's kids for the past 10 months. Yeah, you deserve your paid time. Let's see, Antonia. A short summer session may not bridge the gap for many students. Well, it may not. Yes, it may not for many students, but it's at least something that's there. Right. Is what I would say too as well. What is the fallback plan to bring students up to grade level proficiency? Based on statistics you shared, CC is graduating students who have not really earned a diploma. Yes, based on those numbers, we are essentially. I mean, that's not just here in Charles County.
It's nationwide.
Yeah, we're just pushing students like, hey, you're not going to get left behind. Let's just keep it moving, keep it moving.
And I think they felt bad because of virtual school. They was not ready for it, and they didn't want to fail any kids. But to me, the students are the one that's going to get failed if you go through that.
Leftwich comment. Listen, all kids should be on grade level. If you pass a failing kid, you failed that kid.
Yep, that's true.
What do you think is a good plan to bring students up to proficiency? Just out of curiosity.
We got to have a robust plan, meaning that okay, I know Leftwich, he's talked about after school programs. Let me tell you a little bit about before I started thinking about school board, I was on a path to bring a sports and learning center here, and the sports and learning center was going to
late.
No, it's still not too late, but the path of it was going to be helping the school. So what we wanted to do was have a before and an after and a summer strong program. We was going to integrate with the school. We knew we couldn't get report cards from the school, so what we was going to do is the parents that signed their children up to come, we was going to have them sign a non-disclosure saying that, hey, we want to see your report card on where your child needs the help. The Sportsplex was going to have a grant. It's a grant from HUD that allows me to hire tutors. And I was going to use our very own nonprofit tutors here in Charles County to have a place in the Sportsplex where they would be able for 1 hour a day to tutor the students in what they needed over the summer. So by us doing that, and by the school having bringing them back up to par, that will be closing the gap. So we're working with the school. So before school and after, and especially in the summertime. So the kid would not stop learning. So when they go to school, they still ahead. Because what happened usually when they have a summer, kids, last day you forget everything. You have to. Then what happened? The teacher had to start doing a remedial for the last couple of months, and then she can actually get into what she's supposed to be teaching later on in the semester. So the sports plate was going to be able to take the grunt of that, to help the school, to help the students. So that's why I was really fighting for that, because I saw that missing gap. Because when I went to Virginia, when I was in New York, when we went to Hawaii, even in Guam, and even in Italy, they had this program. That's what blew me off, because when Italy had it and the United States didn't have it, and we right below DC, I was puzzled that we didn't have a sports place and learning center here. It just blew me away. And the resistance that I got for not, I don't know what it is, but I know they understand that having something for the community, for the youth to have to do, that's important to their growth. It's important. You cannot just have school and home and you go take your child to Virginia and DC and Prince George County to have a outing. That just cannot be. We have to have something for our students, for our community, to be able to do these such things. This is having a sportsplex and learning center will put the community on the right track, because it's a lot you can do in the community. It's a lot you can bring to the community that you never necessarily cannot do right now, because right now we all fighting for having space.
And that was your original plan before you started running for school board.
And when that didn't work out, what I did was I thought about it. I talked to my husband. I said, it was really from the youth, and I said, I can actually utilize some of the stuff that I was doing for the sportsplex into the school. I can utilize that, because the heart was still to make sure that every child succeed. It was our students that I wanted to make sure, because you got to understand, our students is one day going to have to take care of us. We need to make sure they are viable, ready to step into the shoes that me and you they're already doing. So they will be able to take us to the next level, because Charles County is not going to go to the next level if we don't prepare our students to go there. That's my main point. I want to make sure that they are ready to be able to do that.
Yeah, and those just thinking back at your numbers too as well. 94% graduation, but the reading level is, and all this other levels too as well. I mean, I don't know. It would be a lot for me to be, or anyone to be like, Dottery, fix this. I think and I tell everyone that's running a school board, that's impossible. There's not one person, everybody on the school board now, current, future, that couldn't fix that. But it takes, and I think you kind of hit on the head a little bit as far as the community getting more parental involvement involved too as well. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have very little hopes for that. But I mean, for those that are interested, maybe something good can come of that. There's a question I wanted to ask you too as well that I got. Now, your summer school program. Now, obviously, we already have summer schools in Charles County. We've had it for many, many years. But you're saying that now anyone can go to it.
Anyone can go to it.
Was it not like that? It wasn't like that beforehand.
Well, you had to pay for summer school. This is free summer school. This is totally different.
Okay.
So now free, and I want to continue for it to be free, because when you say free, you get more buy-in, you get more students. When you say pay, maybe that child that's struggling don't have the money to pay.
Right.
So if you say free, I will get those students that I would not have gotten if they had to pay. So I would get those students inside the school to get them the help that they need to have.
Free summer camp.
Yeah, so that's it.
Daycare.
It's summer school. It's free, and they learning.
That's the thing too as well. Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about your campaign. How's it going so far?
It's going good. Let me tell you, I have been knocking on doors, passing out my information, getting great response back. So far, I have hit about 19 neighborhoods. My tactic is to go in, call my sorors, call my friends. Hey, can y'all go door knock with me? Can y'all go out and help me pass out my stuff? They usually do. If not, my wonderful husband is my person who go with me, and he like calling, Dottery, can you get somebody? You're the person today. I have used up all my favors. But my main goal is to make sure that before any voter get to the polls, I want them to already know about me. It's too little for me to be pleading for them to vote for me by the time they walk from there into the line that I can't cross to go in and vote. Mm-hmm. That's serious to me. I want to make sure that they know who I am, and they ask questions. So when they go in, they already know that I am voting for Dottery, Butler-Washington, District 3 Board. They already know that. So that's why I am walking, I am out there, I'm doing what I say. I know I got the big signs out there, but I'm putting in my work. The signs ain't gonna get me alone, but I got it there for people who do not, riding by, I didn't get to talk to, they'll see my sign up. Mm-hmm. But my goal is to go to their doors and bring my material and my platform to them so they can understand it. And in the beginning of the campaign, we did a lot of virtual. Let's talk education. I brought in people who are child psychologists to make us understand why it's important that the school must be able to connect with outside people, not just try to hire them, because they made us understand that we're not coming. Our money is out there, but you can partner with us, and you can contract us to come in and help us, but you're not going to find what you're looking for to help you with the problems you need. So we need to rethink that. So that's why I changed my platform and start saying we need to rethink about mental health and advocating for that. We're going to have to bring in our community partners to help us with that. Mm-hmm. School cannot be the all to be in. You cannot. They cannot do everything. No. We need our community. Mm-hmm. We need our parents. We need everybody hands on deck to do this.
Look at some of the comments. People appreciating the foot on the ground, out there knocking on doors. Antonia, Dottery's been out here doing the most work, Pascal. Leftwich, saw you putting up signs for heels on. Is that true? Oh my God.
My sign failed, and I stopped the car. My husband said, the sign can't. I said, people missing me. I got to get out and put my sign back up. So, yep, I can put my sign back up.
We've met before at a couple events. The one I wasn't at was the school choice one, that the alley through. What did you think of that?
I didn't get to go either because I had a previous.
I thought you were there.
No, I wasn't at that one. I went to the open. What was it? Was it the Charles kind of open? The first event I met you at.
Yeah,
I didn't get to go to the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on just out of curiosity on school choice?
I got to do a little more research on that. Because I haven't due diligence. I don't want to say yes or no, because I could be definitely wrong, but I would like to do more research on that to make sure, because it's important that what we say, that parents take it for value. And I don't want what I say that they, start looking to put their child there. So I want to make sure that I rethink about that, get all the information I can, bring in the people I know that are as well versed in this, and then we can come up with a solution as a whole board. But right now I have no thoughts on it because I haven't did my research on it.
I see a comment, Pascal. We can agree that parents should have access to high quality public choices. I have a few questions too as well, and I like doing some more research myself. I was just curious if you had any thoughts on it. All right, this is what I want to ask you. 2018, you ran. What was that campaign like for you?
That campaign was vibrant. It was high taste, just like it was now. But after the midterm, when I won at the primary, things changed after that. Mm-hmm. And I think the ability to know that I cannot be with the partisan, because I was nonpartisan. I supported partisan and not understanding that I shouldn't have been in that race. I shouldn't have did anything in that race. I should have stayed in my nonpartisan lane.
Which race you talking about?
The 2018.
No, you said you made it partisan.
Well, I ran school board, so I was nonpartisan.
Right. Yeah.
So I was connecting with some of the partisan candidates that was running in that race.
Okay.
So my lesson from there is that I shouldn't have done that, and my lesson is to now I did not do it this time. So I stayed in my lane.
You think that hurt you?
Yeah, it hurt me because their enemies became my enemies, which I did not have. So that's a lesson learned. You never, ever, ever get in no one race but your own race.
That's a good lesson.
Yes.
Obviously,
it was a hard lesson because the primaries, I had like 9,000 votes. I was ahead. I was way up there. And I just knew I was going to win because I was doing the same thing. I was knocking on doors, doing this, but I should have stayed in my nonpartisan lane.
You know, it's funny because I respect that. I mean, look at us. This is one thing I always say about BNY is that we remain independent, remain neutral. We're not endorsing anybody. I don't want to get tied to the hip with anyone. You know, if I hit somebody or tell somebody praise, it's just for the action they did. Right. Not because, I'm obviously going to vote for who I vote for.
Right.
I mean, we'll get to that after the election. But I think what you're doing is, I think it's a solid thing. You're kind of just running your race without getting involved in the mess because we do a lot of podcasts here. There's a lot of behind the scenes with a lot of this. So good job staying out the mud because one person's trash. Next thing you know, you get tied to the hip with that. So yeah, you don't want that. Antonia, keep focused on you and your platform. Derek Terry, we got some people. We got some doing it now. It's a good lesson to learn. So I'm glad you learned that lesson last time. And you said you believe that cost you the race from doing that.
Yes, it did.
So this time around, you have a new campaign team, or is it the same campaign team? You've added some people to it?
So I added some people to it, yes.
Okay. Well, talk to me about them. Who are they?
Okay.
Who are you working with?
My campaign team lead is Miriam. She keeps everybody intact. She makes sure that all the communications are all on one, make sure I understand everything, make sure I know what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it, where I'm supposed to go. I got a person that works the graphics. She spits out the graphics when we need graphics done. I got a person who does the Facebook page. She makes sure make sure things are running, make sure things are coming in. And, we just got a team. And then, we have a strategy meeting, making sure that I'm not out of touch. I'm not missing anything. Do we need to re-strategize? Do we need to make sure that we have what we got? Are we doing what we say we're going to do? Those are important things because you don't want to get hit at the polls and say you was doing this, but you said this. So I know I'm running for school board. It looks like she act like she's running for the Senate, but it's all the same. You got to make sure that your name stays viable. You got to make sure that your name stays in the running. It's all about, the only thing I got is my name and my word. And I got to make sure that is true. And so that's why I work hard for that. And that's why, I got a team to make sure I do that. So kudos to my team. They rock. They rock. They keep me solid.
That's good. So let's say you win. What's your plan? You plan on going to visit a lot of schools, community events? What is your idea?
My ideal, if I win, I am going to definitely hold a
How
meeting.
involved? Okay.
For once a month, once a quarter, in my district, because I want to hear from the parents. I don't want to come out of touch. I don't want to come where they know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I want to come to the board and say, hey, this is happening in my district. Is this happening in your district? We need to come up with a plan. I want to make sure that I visit the schools in my community, in my district. That's valuable to them. I want the students to see their person who's over them in their school.
Right.
They see them. They know me. So those are the type of things I'm going to be hands-on because I know nothing but how to be hands-on. The unapproachable, I'm never that person. But I will go back and say, but if an email comes and if it involves the schools, the teacher, that's Dr. Navarro's job, not mine. But I'm going to stay engaged until it's resolved. That's what you can count on me for doing. But I'm going to be in my community. I'm going to make sure that they know who I am, and I'm going to know the issues that surround my schools. But I want to make sure that everybody know that as a school board member, I want all of our students to succeed, not just District 3. Because District 3 can't be great and nobody else schools be great. We all got to be great. So I'm there for everybody.
Yo, District 3, that's half the county pretty much. It's a whole lot of kids.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a district where my wife teaches at too as well. So yeah, shout out to District 3. Yeah. Events, where's some places we can find you at too as well?
So I'm going to be doing, I got another Let's Talk coming up before the school year. It's going to be a bullying, and we're doing another bullying series because school is starting back. We want to get kids thinking of what's not to do, what they're supposed to do, and getting them thinking how they going to portray themselves in the next school year. So I think that's a great topic. We're going to have that on August the 16th. I'm going to do a back to school drive. I always do one. My sorority does one. We always give to the Title 1 schools. I just found out they're 10. They was 5. Now they're 10. So sorority sisters, get ready to pull out that money because we got to do 10 schools now. Instead of 5 schools.
When is this?
This is we always have it the second August in second Saturday in August we do it. Now, and so what we do is we be at the library. People drive through. Give them a bag. Give them a bag. Give them a bag.
Now, July 19th is the primary.
Yes.
And the top 4 for District 3 can move on.
Yes.
So even if you're not that top 4, you're still gonna be out there passing book bags.
I'm still gonna be out there, Paul. I'm service. That's what we do. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We are the service. We hands down the service. That's what we do. So I'm gonna be. I was out there last time and before, and I'm not gonna be. If whatever it is, I'm not gonna stop being involved in the school. I didn't stop in 2018. I'm not gonna stop now. But my goal is, I'm gonna win this, right, baby? We're gonna win this. Yes, we're gonna win this. We're gonna win this. Yes.
Hey, speaking to existence. Love to hear it. So in your 4 years, you just brought up something, and I had another question. Something I want to come back to. We mentioned earlier. What have you in the 4 years? What have you done as far as being involved in the schools?
So we when the COVID was coming, I spoke at every school board about the COVID when they was trying to bring them back so early, because I felt that we didn't do that. We didn't have the data. We didn't have the resources. We was only letting 30% of the county rule the rest of everybody else, because 70% said keep virtual like they were, and 30 did not. So my thing of it is we have to make sure that we listen to the health department, and we listen to what our school, meaning MSAEA, say. What we say, not what. When it comes to health, I know parents and everybody can be vocal about it, but you got to understand we are doing this for the best thing for your student and for everybody that's in that school. We have to look out for that. If something happened to them, that's on us, and we cannot take any chance with anybody's life. I'm glad that things are getting better and we're going, but if it happens again, just know on mine, that's what I'm going to go for.
The virtual learning?
The virtual learning, because simply...
You think that was effective?
It was only not effective because they didn't know how to do it. Right now, what my plan is to do is to make sure that we get the teachers everything they need to make sure if we ever go back in here, they are ready to go. Show them how to do a virtual learning on the school. Show them. My master's, I did my whole master's on virtual. The whole master's.
Yeah, but you're also an adult. I'm talking about 5-year-old kids.
No. I'm gonna tell you. Tell him, Caden. I had him for the virtual because his mom had to work. Caden got the process down, and what he did was, he told me, Nene, I'm doing this. I got a 15-minute break. He set his own alarm, went back. I didn't believe him. I sat right up there with him. He was effective. He knew what he had to do. He learned from his teacher. The teacher told him what to do. He did exactly what the teacher told him to do. And he was effective. I know some kids was not effective. Mm-hmm. And I truly understand why our kids was IEPs had to go back to school. Got it. Understand that. Because their gap was already large, and if we would have kept them out longer, it would have been even larger. So I understand why those had to go back. But we should have did a slow, like the 9th graders go back. Let them get in school, let them get incorporated, and then do the 10th grade, then the 11th grade, then the 12th grade. Then you got a handle on what you're doing. But all of them going back in now, that wasn't effective. It wasn't effective. Mm-hmm. Everybody know that once you start a slow and put it in, that's how you become effective. Because if the 9th graders got it, we got them down packed. Now we bring the 10th grader back. Then we bring the 11th and the 12th grade back. But virtual school, do not sleep on virtual school. Virtual school could be used effective in multiple ways. If a child is expelled from school, you think we should just let them stay out of school and don't get any education?
I don't think we don't do expulsion here.
You do expulsion. I'm talking about when the kids can't come back to school for 10 days.
Which on like a suspension,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But still having them. I mean, in that case, yeah, instead of being the home.
Yeah,
you know,
they do virtuals.
More Fortnite. Yeah, pop them on virtual learning.
Yeah, and let them do virtual learning. So that's why I said it's not an all the well-being thing. Virtual school could be an advantage for a school because therefore the child is at home, but they're still learning, and they still gonna they won't affect your learning loss as much because they're still learning. So we don't want to say no more virtual learning. No, some kids thrived off of it. So
I think virtual works for certain students. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would prefer. I think my kids work better in the classroom. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of parents felt their kids work better in the classroom, but some felt like we've had Candace on here and said, "Hey, my kids work better in the virtual setting," and I have no problem with that either. You know, if there's someone that's there to teach it, they get paid for it. I mean, why not? You know, I'm not against it. Mm-hmm. You know, I prefer in school, but if his kid works better that way, I mean, I have no problem with it.
Because imagine
everybody's
this.
learning language is different,
right? So imagine this: you come to Charles County, and we are able to offer to a parent, you can come to school full time, you can go virtual, or you can go hybrid. Giving parents choices, that's what kind of choices I want. Giving parents choices of how they want their child to be taught. Mm-hmm. We should be ready for that because I'm gonna tell you what, overseas are already doing it. Those kids, they're doing it. They already doing it. And another thing I want to talk about with the board to bring into the school is a financial literacy program. Not in high school, starting in 6th grade. We need to teach our kids about checking, banking, stocks. Teaching about, all of it, the Bitcoin, all of it.
Crypto, all that.
All of it, because guess what?
I thought there was some type of financial literacy. I'm not sure how robust it is.
You got a banking class optional. I'm talking about a full-blown program from 6th grade all the way to high school. It's a program out there for that.
It's funny. I've always heard some kids, they parents or opponents say that kids wouldn't really listen to that, and welfare is a good point too as well. Even trade schools too as well. Yeah. But hell, the kid this hoodie I'm wearing is 14.
Thank you.
He's got his own LLC. So yeah, I mean, if you present it to him, I mean, let's say that someone just don't get it, but somebody pick up on it. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my guy Miles too as well. I'm gonna drop the link right here. 10% use the BNY code. Mm-hmm. Keep talking, please. Yeah. So those are the type of programs that we need because it helps the parent out. Because if you have a child that already know how to bank and saving, know how to do crypto, Bitcoin, stocks, that child gonna save you some money when she get to school and he get to school, right? Because they already know that. Normally how it happen, your child go to college and you on the banking account. Mm-hmm. You don't spend $100, what you doing? Oh, I ain't know I supposed to spend that. You got to have this money saved. You got to have this money for the next month. You're spending money like you act like you got more money to go. Our children should already know how to save and how to have the money to stretch out until the end of the month. They don't do that because majority of them don't. And I'm in that boat.
all the way through school. BJ, you got a job?
Mm-hmm.
You just spent like $300. Do you know this $1,000 got last you? So how you gonna survive? You got to eat. You got to do all this stuff. We have to prepare and get our kids prepared.
Do you feel the same way about trades too as well?
Yes. Let me tell you, college is not the only way that kids are learning. I already said it was 36.4 students that wasn't going to college. So we got to prepare them for trade schools.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have a way to survive when they get out of school also. So I'm going to throw in the military. That's how I went. I didn't just go to college. I went to the military first, and the military paid for my college.
They have JROTC programs.
Yes, they do, and that is important because if you get that scholarship, they pay for your college, and then you go into the military as an officer. We need to push those programs too. They are the highlight programs too, where it's always college. And no, the child has to find what they like, and we need to support it. But we have to present the ideas to them of what it is, because we know everybody don't go to college. We know all of this stuff. We need to throw the ideas. Well, if you don't like this, how about this?
You said 67%, right?
Yes.
So no, you said 36%.
36.4. Do not do nothing. No, go the vocational nothing. We got to make a plan for them also.
Yeah, and I know some of the stuff is in the curriculum, but it sounds like to me you're talking about something a little more robust, and centered, and taught earlier.
The stuff that I'm talking about is the programs that's in North Point.
Right.
It needs to be in all 7 schools.
Yeah, that's the comment here too.
All
as well.
7 schools. There should never be a way that a student love their own school, home school, but want to get into this particular program, and they have to apply, and then they get rejected. They're not built to bounce back like we do. This is stuff you do when you go to college, when you apply for college. So when you apply for college, you know there's a chance or not a chance. But when you're in high school, I feel if I'm in high school, I should be able to take whatever the school provides to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where it should be. It should be spread out in all 7 schools, so all the children will be able to participate in all of these programs. These are great CTEs, are valuable. So every child needs the opportunity to be able to participate. My grandbaby, 11 years old, let me tell you what she said.
Uh-oh.
She says, Nene, I know you want me to go to college. I'm going to go to college, and I'm already going to tell you I'm going to be an entrepreneur. But I'm going to tell you, I want to learn how to do hair, because that's what's going to save me when I'm in school, when y'all don't give me no money, because I can be doing hair on the side and getting my money. Well, she ain't said money, getting her coins, she say. So I'm telling you, these kids are thinking out here. They know what they want to do. I'm not working for nobody. I'm an entrepreneur. Period. She wants to go in on her own dance company, because that's what she do. She dance. She travels all over the world dancing. So she has incorporated going to business school and getting her own business, her dance class, and so she will be able to have something on the side with doing hair. She said, don't slip on, those things like that, because that is lucrative money. She said, it's money. She said, so it's all green. She said, I'm going to college, but I'm just saying I'm doing it differently how a lot of people do it. I'm not saying I'm going to be a doctor, lawyer, and all this stuff. I'm just saying what I'm going to do. And I respect that. I respect she has a plan.
Absolutely.
And so I'm thinking all of our kids could think the same way if we pour into them.
You invest into them? Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not going to argue with that. You invest into the generation, good things, a lot of good things that pop up out of it. Leftwich, you're not a big fan of CT program acceptance. It's like she says, it's like shooting craps. Leftwich, fine. This is comedy he had here, and I'm going to read this. Because my guy Michael Leftwich met him at the Juneteenth event. After all the nonsense this man posts in here, he finally tells me his daughter is a CEO of her own company, Cakes by Kima. If I'm saying that right too as well. If I can see, I got my glasses on, but sometimes I still struggle to see this screen. His daughter. I'm like, Leftwich, you can tell me this entire time too as well. So, Leftwich, we could drop a link or something like that. These kids, they have a network, extremely smart with it too as well. So, if you do expand or are able to expand the resources, given to them, a lot of them take advantage of it.
Yes,
I think they will. I think they will. Camilla. There it is. Camilla. Thank you. I could read that. Amanda, my daughter sews, but she's upset there isn't a fashion design program available. She's rejected by North Point.
See? It should have been in his school. In her school. It should have been in her school.
Cakes by Camille. Love it. Leftwich, I gotta get up with you after this too as well. I gotta talk. We gotta have a conversation. Let's see. Every high school should have a trade program and dual enrollment. Pascal. Mm-hmm. And Amanda has a good point too as well. Not every child is mentally or emotionally prepared for college straight out of high school. I do agree with that.
Yes, I definitely 100%.
Do. So, but at the same time, you just hope that you can take 2-3 years off. Mm-hmm. But it's other things that it sounds like that you want to have in their toolkit that can get them by from there. Like you mentioned, your daughter dance, hair, all that too as well.
Right, and I want a lot of people don't slip on the 2-year colleges. A lot of people, throw into their children's head, apply for this big 4-year college. 2-year college can save a mother and father a lot of money. And y'all still get that same degree from that college that you was going to go for 4, and you got to pay all that money for the 4-year college. 2-year college is for a student who's not mentally ready to go to a full-blown school. It's not. A 2-year is meant for a student. They know they want to go to school or they want to do something. So they're getting the basis to figure out what they want to do. And so you're saving money, and you don't have the hassle of all the people in school and you're being in your own dorm. It's a lot for a child to be on its own. And to think, okay, now I'm here by myself. I have never been allowed to do what I want to do. So how is that going to play into it? We need to take the temperature of our children starting in 9th grade. Take the temperature. Saying, is it feasible you want to go to a 4-year school? Do you think you want to try to? When you want to go visit a 2-year school and see how it works out? Or do you want to go to a 4 and you see how all the action is? I want you to be honest with me. Because what you don't want to happen is your child get up there and flunk out the first of the 2 years. Waste the money. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. That's why I encourage, it's something that the parent don't want to hear. I'm talking for myself. I didn't want to hear my son say he didn't want to go to a 4-year college. I don't think I would have been mentally ready for that. Because I always envisioned him going to a 4-year college. So he said he wanted to go to the military first. I spazzed out a little bit. I said, wait a minute, BJ. We got the grades. We got our acceptance letter. Now, where the military come in at? I'm not ready for this. But my husband said, didn't you do the same thing? I said, yes, but I want better for him. He said, is it he want for himself or you want? He said, check your temperature. I had to sit back and swallow my own words. But thank God he made the right choice and went to college. but I did not fuss. I did not hone. I did not do any of that. What I was going to do until my husband said, it's not your future. You had your future. You did what you want to do. Allow him to be the man that he's supposed to be. So it was a hard pill, but, he rethought about it, and he went to college and then went to the military. So
life lessons.
Yeah.
Let me get some of these comments. And we're about hour 50 right now. About hour 50. We'll start to wrap this up and get out of here. Let's see. Pascal, 2-year college. Got a GPA. Basics out the way. Went to University of San Francisco. Pascal, I didn't know that. Went to University of San Fran. We never hear about those stories. Leftwich, I went to a 2-year for 6 years. Oh my God.
Your guy.
That's my guy. Hey, of course. Hey. Oh man, Mr. Leftwich. Always love you coming around here. All right, Dottery, the floor is yours. What can you say to the voters right now? Convince them to look at your platform and consider you. What would you say to them? Somebody's on the line right now thinking about you.
You heard the passion in my voice. You know that I love the future of our children. You know I want our children to succeed in every life of world. And if you do not know much about me, I ask you to go to www.dotterybutlerwashington.com to learn about me. If you need to know more, just scroll down to the bottom and ask me a direct question, and I will get back with you. So I ask you one more question. If you like what you see on that platform, I ask you to do two things. Share it with how many people you can share it with, and most important, vote for me. Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget that part right there.
Yes.
So how does I know we talked about it briefly, but how does it work for District 3 voting? Obviously, I'm in District 2. I can't vote for you. So how many people are running? How many people go on? How does it work?
So you have 6 people that's on the ballot, and you can only vote for 2 people. And I ask you again, you saw the passion I had. I need a board with that same kind of passion, that same will that want every child to succeed. I need for you to ask them about their platform, what the same things that was asked here. I need for that same thing to be asked, because if you want a striving public school, you got to give me the people to be able to do these things, because I am a person that is a doer. I do not fail at a lot of things, and I will not fail at this, because my plan is we have to work diligently. We can get it done. We can get it done. It's baby steps. We can get it done. Just as long as you have the tools and the necessary and the willpower to do it, we can do it. Thank you.
There it is. Antonia said she met you at a car wash. Say you at a car wash. Ain't you usually inside your car at a car wash?
Yeah, I do have a side of my car.
With the car wash, it was usually inside your car. Okay, I got out the car. Okay, this is a different kind of car wash. Okay. Hey, all good. District 4 needs some help. Let's see left which man from District 4 on here soon. As far as school board. Actually, I need to reach out. I need to reach out to some District 4. That's me. We were inside there. I'm just asking. I'm scared. I don't know. It was a gas station, car wash. I don't know. All right, Pascal. That's actually a great point you just brought up there. Deron Charles will be on the podcast June 27th, I believe, at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. I mean to go back and take a look at that, but it'll be on the event will be up on Facebook tomorrow. Deron Charles being obviously he's running with you in District 3, not with you in the same campaign, right. But yeah. But so that'll be interesting podcast. Actually, I got school board from here on out. I got Jamila Smith Tuesday, Julie Brown on Thursday, and then we have Robin Rutledge. She'll be here, clerk of the court, on July 5th, and July 7th. I'm kind of locked into podcast. I still need to send out the invite, so I'm not going to go into that one just yet. It'll be another school board member. A lot of school board.
Yes, that's important. I'm telling you, school board is the public education is closely linked to the success of the community. That's important. It's important who you put on that school board. It's important.
100%.
This is our future. This is who's going to be leading us.
Absolutely. It's crazy because there's so many of y'all running. I've said before that I can interview 2 of y'all 8 days a week, and I still probably get through like half by the time July 19th rolls around. So, yeah, but no, I'm it's definitely been fun to sit here and talk with you. We've met before, obviously, but I mean your energies is all over the place. You love to see it. So that's something you can definitely take with you as you go on further on the campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, best of luck on the trails too as well, knocking on doors. Thank you. Doing what you do.
I got one thing. If anybody want to join me on Saturday, I'm going to be in Dorchester. Go to my website and go down and let me know where you at, so I can give you the address if you want to join in on the fun.
Oh. Good. Yeah, everybody, if you can make it there, please do. This is what I want to get back to. So you said 10,000 per kid. Mm-hmm. As far as that, you said 26,000 in
875. That's in the county.
875. So my math was wrong. Mm-hmm. I was completely wrong with that. So if it's, let's say you want a comprehensive plan that will cover every kid, or at least I don't know, maybe half. So let's say we did 13,000. That'd be about no, that's wrong. If it's 13,000 times 10,000, that'd be like you're talking about 130 million.
Well, like I said, all kids are not going to use this. It's an equation of what child need the most help.
Right.
Because every parent has child mental health on their insurance. So the school can tell them that, your child need this. They can be able to still get the same help, but they go through their provider. So a lot of parents don't know that. We go for us, and you go for your regular, but child for it's on there. The child mental health is on every health plan.
Yeah, and I believe in mental health.
Yeah.
I believe mental health is as much as you got gyms all over the place.
Yeah.
I wish I had mental health facilities. You could just walk in, get right, come out an hour, be good to go. But the cost of that, I'm just highly, highly curious if you would have enough to even fund that. Now you said like every kid. I mean, that's just me just cutting half the kids in the county. I mean, we can do like 5,000 kids. It'll still be a pretty costly plan. But you said when it would cost from the parent, it will cost from the county.
If it's from the county, from who deems that the child needs to go there. So if the school deems that this child needs this services, on their website, they have the organization that they predominantly work with. So they send that child there to cover those services on the website. So I'm pretty sure it's an equation of what services is deemed that the school will be able to pay for versus they need help, but their parents' insurance can pay for that piece of the insurance.
I mean, I think it's a good plan as far as attacking the mental health. I think that's very, very important. I mean, we just saw a kid in Texas run up into school and shoot a bunch of people.
Yes.
Obviously, mental health is very, very important to me. As far as, I would ask that as far as you go, as far as your website, if it can be a little more comprehensive as far as the breakdown of it, I think that'd be good for the voter base too as well.
Okay.
They see exactly how that would come together as far as costs. I know a lot of people love ideas, but they're concerned with costs. How much it's going to cost? How much it's going to cost me? And if you could even get it approved just based on the numbers. So
okay,
that's something. If you could put a website, I would love to see it, and then we can definitely take a look at it from there. Because I'd love to have you back.
Okay.
I'd love to have you back on here too as well.
Yes. After July the 19th, you sure can.
So yeah, we'll let's see what you got for that. I'm curious, and as soon as you do, we'll run with it here too as well. Let's see. It's a quick question. Donald Poole, Mr. Poole, how long you been around here for? Have you been here the whole time? You've been on your best behavior, Mr. Donald Poole. What was this only able to vote for people in your district school board? You can only vote for people in your school board district. Yep.
What happened was last year our state legislator, they passed a bill where school boards can only vote in your district. So if you live in District 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can only vote for those candidates that's in your district. But we also have a member's lodge where they will be on everybody's ballot also. So therefore, you can vote for any of them on there. But right now, just to find out your district, and when you get your ballot, those are the only people you can vote for.
Yep. So I have my district, so I cannot cast a vote for you, even if I wanted to. Yeah. Deron Charles couldn't cast a vote for me, even if I wanted to. District 3, Nicole has been here too as well, can't cast if I wanted to. So that's just how it is. But regardless, it's important that the people come out, you come here, and the people are able to get to talk to you. So
yes, because guess what? They got friends in District 3. So they can share Dottery's name with them. And I got a spiel for everybody.
Hey, there you go. Just like y'all share this podcast too as well. So
yes.
Get the word out there.
Yes.
Great conversation, Donald Poole. my guy Donald. But no, that's it. So thank you both for coming from here. Right. I'm gonna go and catch the NBA draft. I know it's been on for a little bit, so let's see what we got there. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
With that being said, hey, appreciate y'all. We'll be back on Monday, Deron Charles. So
I'll be
y'all
here.
Go ahead, get your popcorn and tune in. It'll be a fun night.
You better be ready for them. You got to get your boy in here to help you with them questions.
Yeah, Devin be here. I'm taking the weekend off. I'm gonna go meditate. Make sure I get ready for this. Nah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. I can't wait.
This was fun. See, just right up my alley right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring that intro in.